Why, God, why can my voice escape this steel divide? Why, God, why am I left alone with doubts inside? Why, God, why do echoes fade in midnight's cry? Why, God, why am I left with questions but no reply? Why, God, why do children weep beneath your boundless sky? Why, God, why do hungry hearts still starve though fields lie wide? Why, God, why do mothers mourn for sons no longer near? Why, God, why do fathers vanish leaving only fear? Why, God, why do nations rise in wrath to fuel the fight? Why, God, why do bullets steal the silence of the night? Why, God, why do vultures circle over shifting sands? Why, God, why do prophets speak yet hate still fuels our hands? Why, God, why do rivers flood then leave the parched earth dry? Why, God, why do parched plains thirst while clouds go tumbling by? Why, God, why do dreams take flight then break upon the stone? Why, God, why do voices fade when hope should find its own? Why, God, why do the storms of suffering drown our final call? Why, God, why do we keep asking if you're there at all? When war roars like thunder and peace seems far too small. Why, God, why must your existence be the hardest truth of all? Why, God, why must mothers watch their babies gasp for breath? Why, God, why do plagues descend like specters cold as death? Why, God, why does greed corrupt the soul's once gentle core? Why, God, why do we betray the blood we vowed to pour? Why, God, why do walls divide what nature meant to bind? Why, God, why do cries for mercy fade within the mind? Why, God, why do tyrants crown themselves with stolen gold? Why, God, why do stories end untold, their voices cold? Why, God, why does nature groan beneath our reckless hand? Why, God, why do oceans choke with waste across the land? Why, God, why do hearts grow empty in this crowded place? Why, God, why do we forsake the warmth of human grace? Why, God, why do prayers return unanswered to the sky? Why, God, why do silent heavens never deign to try? Why, God, why do doubts eclipse the faith we once held dear? Why, God, why do trembling voices fail to find you here? Why, God, why is faith a whisper lost in roaring winds? Why, God, why do we seek salvation from the place it begins? Why, God, why do we chase your image in our darkest night? Why, God, why must we bear the burden of unending fight? Why, God, why if you're the shepherd do we wander lost and bare? Why, God, why does silence answer every desperate prayer? With broken hearts around us, where is mercy's gentle care? Why, God, why do we wonder if you're ever truly there? Why, God, why must healing start in hearts made of our own? Why, God, why does change demand we face the lion's throne? Why, God, why should mercy rise from wounds we cannot see? Why, God, why must love be forged in our own empathy? Why, God, why can hope survive when reason turns to dust? Why, God, why do broken souls still cling to fragile trust? Why, God, why do echoes of compassion softly call? Why, God, why do we resist before we break the wall? Why, God, why must we be the answer we implore? Why, God, why not send your grace to guide us evermore? Why, God, why must we learn to bloom where wounds still bleed? Why, God,